Dear LifeProof, thank you for making the LifeProof Next case. I personally enjoy using this case. Good work, guys. But on my scoring system, it scores lower than the Otterbox Pursuit. Sorry, LifeProof. Now, if I had to choose between the two, I'd still stick with the Next case. Now, when I got the LifeProof Next, some of the questions I had were, how resistant is the Next? You know, this is kind of the replacement for the NUUD. Will the case come apart after a couple of drops like the NUUD? And how different is the Next when compared to the NUUD, the case that it replaces? How does it compare to a similar product, the Otterbox Pursuit, which is, well, Otterbox owns LifeProof, so they could be very similar, or should be. And last but not least is, what screen protectors work with the LifeProof Next case? So in the next few minutes, I'm just going to share with you all the answers that I came across in answering all those questions. For my LifeProof Next review, I've given this case a score 3.9 A's out of 5. It doesn't break the 4. It's still better than the average case, but the Otterbox Pursuit got a score of 4.0 A's out of 5. So this is 0.1 better than the LifeProof Next. From my perspective, the handling and wear and tear of the Next is going to be an issue, and even though it does say it's going to protect against dust, I'm not quite sure it's going to protect against very fine dust, we'll say. If you need a side-by-side comparison with the Otterbox Pursuit, click on the link in the description section below, and it will bring you to an easy-to-read table on my website.
Real usage, real reviews. MobileReviewsA.ca.
At Mobile Reviews A, Monty and I believe, I had a fixture tie, believe that reviews should be based on actual usage, because a review that's not, well, it's just a promotional video. Right, buddy? If you agree, just sit there and not do anything. When it comes to design, the LifeProof Next is a thin but wide case. The thinness is going to help with the handling of the iPhone with one-handed usage, but the extra width of the case is going to be an issue for the larger plus-sized iPhones. The LifeProof Next fits together quite well. The case follows the curvature of the iPhone, which means it will sit fairly well in your hand. It does weigh a bit more than your average case, but that's to be expected since it offers way more protection than your average slim iPhone case. Now, one of my biggest gripes about the Next is the fact that it will slide around like an air hockey puck or a greased up human being down a slip and slide. With that being said, most cases that slide around like a greased up human tend to handle poorly, but LifeProof has included a rubber bumper around the edge of the case, which helps with the handling. The rubber bumper, along with the solid fit, makes me feel very confident that my iPhone's going to be safe in this case. Well, sort of. I'll get to that in a minute and you'll kind of see. It feels solid, handles well, but is it really as tough as LifeProof says it is? The second gripe that I had about the LifeProof Next is the wear and tear it will incur over time. The case looks great out of the box, but the clear back will show fingerprints easily, and accidental drops will scuff the clear back, which is a shame because a clean Next case looks awesome. Overall, the design is quite similar to the LifeProof NUUD for the iPhone 7s. I have a feeling that LifeProof isn't technically going to make a NUUD for the 8s, though you could probably use the 7 case on the 8 without an issue. Now, between the LifeProof NUUD and the LifeProof Next, they look, well, from this video, they almost look identical from this range. And LifeProof NUUD is a fully waterproof case that LifeProof Next isn't, though they share a lot of the same design cues: the clear back, the thick polycarbonate back, the rubberized bumper, and the really tiny mute switch. The Next is thinner than the NUUD, but it has the same width. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I rated the LifeProof NUUD a little lower than the average waterproof case, despite the fact that I really enjoyed using it. Again, the smooth back is just very, very nice. My biggest issue thinking about that review is the fact that I can't really take my LifeProof NUUD anywhere, despite the fact that it's waterproof and drop rated. There's no place for me to attach a wrist strap to it, so I can't go swimming with it. So basically, I think LifeProof realized this as well, and LifeProof basically took the best features of the NUUD and stripped it down and made the Next. Now, when it comes to protection, the LifeProof Next is drop rated 2 meters or 6.6 feet and is supposed to block dirt, dust, snow, and debris. Now, unlike the NUUD, the Next is not waterproof at all. But it does come with several water-resistant features, which includes a seal along the front of the case and a seal along the camera cutout. But how good is this seal? Is it close to making your iPhone waterproof? To answer that question, I took my iPhone 8, put the Next in it, and dumped it into a sink filled with water. Within seconds, water had started to seep between the camera cutout and the lightning port area. Now, this isn't a full-blown disaster, but the Next will reduce the amount of water reaching your iPhone. You may not think this is going to be a big deal, but it will make a difference if you accidentally drop your iPhone 8 in the Next in salt water. Next up was the fact that LifeProof claims that the Next blocks snow. So I found some snow, tossed my Next into it. I wasn't really expecting anything to happen to the iPhone 8, but while I was doing this, it did occur to me that if you melt snow, what happens? It becomes water, and you just saw what happened to the iPhone 8 in the Next in water. So it gets snowy, make sure you dry it off. How about dust and dirt? Now it looks like the seals will do a good job of keeping larger particles like dirt out, but how about dust or something even finer, like flour? The only solution I could come up with was to take some flour, put in a Ziploc with an iPhone in it, shake it around, and see if any flour got past the seals. Now this is where I'm a little conflicted when it comes to dust because flour is much finer than your usual dust particles in my opinion. So finding flour between the iPhone and the case was a little disheartening, but it took quite a bit of effort in order for that to happen. So even if you do get this case, I do suggest you clean it out every once in a while. How about drop protection? Well, I took the Next with an iPhone 8 and then dropped it from 6 feet. The iPhone's fine, but each 6-foot drop resulted in the case coming apart slightly, which is not cool. This was the same issue I had with the NUUD, so I wasn't surprised when it happened. So technically the Next does protect your iPhone, just make sure you snap it together after each accidental drop. But if you're still concerned about the drop protection, it takes a lot of effort for the iPhone to actually come out of the back part of the case. So even if the bumper does come flying off, your iPhone's still gonna have a bit of protection. Well, the back is anyways. When it comes to screen protection, the Next provides above average protection between the case edge and the screen. LifeProof is able to do this because of the extra width of the case. When it comes to the type of screen protector, you need to go with a non-edge-to-edge screen protector. If you use anything else like this YOLO 3D shield on this iPhone, the Next will press against the edge of the screen protector, causing it to bubble off the iPhone. This iPhone 8 with a Rhino Shield screen protector fits the LifeProof Next very well. With all things considered, the LifeProof Next is going to protect your iPhone from most bad things, other than very, very tiny dust flour particles. Now, in terms of accessing your iPhone in the Next, my only concern was that the mute switch was tougher to access because it's, well, tiny. Now, given the thinness of the case, I'm not sure what else LifeProof could have done. The buttons on the Next are quite nice and have a good response. The cutout for the lightning port is big enough even for the largest cable I have, this old Amazon Basics cable. Now, if you're wondering why there's a big bunch of cables here, I just finished filming a video about the differences between charge speeds for the different cables. Apparently there is a difference, so do check that video out. Monty is here because he's tired. He's laying down. Come on, yeah, there you go. And before we started working tonight, Monty decided to bring his favorite toy, Moosey. So that's what's going on over here. Continuing on with the access of your iPhone in the Next, the Next doesn't get in the way of the camera, and using the flashlight or flash will light up the entire case, which might be handy for people who use the flashlight as a call alert. Now, the OtterBox Pursuit and LifeProof Next are quite similar. Both are a notch below a waterproof case, but definitely tougher than your average slim case. I've done a full review of the OtterBox Pursuit, so check that video out if you need more information. Both cases have a seal around the screen and camera cutout. The seal on the LifeProof Next does look a little cleaner than the foam on the Pursuit, but I'm pretty sure the Pursuit's going to keep out flour. Both cases have dust filters for the speakers, so most of your iPhone is going to be protected. Now, as I said earlier, I personally like the Next over the Pursuit only because it just looks so much better. I'm holding the NUUD. This is the Next. The OtterBox Pursuit is your typical OtterBox case. There's hard pieces, there's rubbery pieces, and they're all generally very dark colors. With the Next, I really like how smooth the back is, despite the fact that it will cause your iPhone to slide around like a greased up human being. And I'm more forgiving of the slick back because this is on purpose. LifeProof went and made the back of the case extremely slick, and it works very well. Most other case manufacturers, I've got a base grip here. It's not terribly grippy on a flat surface, and so a lot of the case manufacturers will add a bit more texture to the back, but they end up just failing in everything for the case. So LifeProof decided, hey, we're gonna make it completely smooth. They stuck with it, and it's awesome. Like, it just feels so great in my hand. That's a weird thing to say, but that's how I feel. So if you found this video helpful, consider getting all your stuff through my links. I get a small commission. It doesn't cost you any more, and basically that small commission helps me make videos in the future. LifeProof did not sponsor this video whatsoever. They didn't even send me the case. Technically, I didn't ask because, well, it's been kind of hard asking for stuff, despite the fact that I'm a very good case reviewer. Questions, comments? Down there.